Welcome back to the channel. Did you know this is the 11th video? Is that crazy or what? I was just looking, I was like, wow, every single day, video, 11 videos. So, but this video is about, what's inside this video, I'm gonna talk about adjustments. Making those adjustments when you have momentum. Because you wanna seize the moment of momentum, and sometimes you have to make adjustments. I'm gonna talk about that. And then also, I'm gonna get really nerdy. So if you want to fast forward that part, it's okay. But I'm gonna get really nerdy on how I start out my projects by creating a second brain. And I'm gonna tell you a secret tool that I use. It's a pretty obvious tool, but it's a secret tool that I use to create a second brain to wrap my mind around the project so I can move pretty fast. And then the last thing that I think would be interesting to you is I was in a meeting today and I heard something very powerful about a massive wealth shift. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but there's a point that I'm trying to make that if you miss that part, you're going to miss the whole point of the video. So those are some of the things I talk about, but in the very beginning, I have a surprise. Remember, there was a meeting that canceled on me yesterday. Right from the beginning, you're gonna see exactly what I do. So, here we go. So as I'm walking to work here, I get an email back from the guy who had to cancel. He sounds very, um, remorseful about it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna meet with him again. Things happen, and sometimes you just have to, let it go and just because it's very important. You want to turn over every stone you can, and things happen in people's lives, so sometimes you have to be able to adapt and adjust. So I'm just gonna ask him to send me a few dates, days and time that work for you. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna give another shot. What they're building is pretty interesting to me. So on that merit alone, I am gonna take the meeting because I'm actually pretty curious about the web development and the talent that's over in Ghana, Africa. I mean, so it's really about talent. And when you see talent, you have to pursue it, especially if you want to make it a part of your team or part of your. Taking on new adventures is adjusting your schedule because now you're putting other priorities into your calendar, and it can be challenging sometimes because now when I used to go to the gym at a certain time, but now I have to adjust it, and it's all really on the fly. And sometimes when you're trying to keep trains on the track, you want to make sure nothing crashes. So yeah, it's really important to make those adjustments and figuring out how you're going to make those adjustments as fast as possible. Because one of the things that you have is momentum, and when you have momentum on your side, that's priceless because momentum doesn't always come around. So when it does come around, you have to make the adjustments. You have to move fast so that nothing falls off the tracks. Everything still remains. There are some sacrifices that are going to have to be made, but you just want to make sure you're making the sacrifices not on the things that matter the most, which is your own self-care. For me, that's going to the gym, getting myself some coffee. All those things matter because those are the things that help you be able to pour into yourself so you can pour into others and other things and projects. And then your family, of course, you don't want to sacrifice those things, but when you're making these adjustments, when you have these new adventures that are coming on, you have to make the adjustments. So you may have to sacrifice for a little bit, but it'll be worth it. But you just have to stay focused and stay in the game. So off to my 9:30 meeting. I'm actually going to my office. I have to grab some coffee. But I don't know how granular to get with this. But one of the things that I was telling you yesterday about feeling overwhelmed when starting a new adventure. One of the things that I do first is I set up a Google Drive. I mean, this is getting really nerdy, but if this is valuable to you, what I do first is I set up my Google Drive, because the Google Drive is the brains of the operations. And what I specifically do is I've developed, and I reference other things, but I developed my own system for folders. So I make sure I have all my folders for that project, and that way, anything I'm working on pertaining the project, I have the folders already set up that I can work in and out. And automatically, right now, yesterday I felt overwhelmed, and even a little bit this morning, but it started to go away because now I feel organized. So so getting organized as fast as you can is critical. It's critical. So just want to share that with you. I feel a little bit better now because I had got that all set up and everything at the coffee shop. So heading to my 9:30. These nuts come in, these mixed nuts right here, they come in at such the perfect time because I was just about to get a little hungry. So this is gonna keep my stomach good for a little bit. But that little snack goes a long way. Massive transfers of wealth. Now, mind you, this guy's like 25 years in the game, investment banking, and basically he was saying there's going to be a massive, and this is public knowledge. It's public knowledge that you can Google this. That there's going to be a massive transfer of wealth that's going to take place, which is going to change the nature of investors. So people are going to have more disposable income that they can actually invest in startup companies. And that's where we're going to see a lot of this innovation come, because more people are going to be able to write checks into innovations, whether they be big or small, like really, or small tools, or like deep tech type stuff, and everything in between. So that's where we're in a really rough patch. It seems like that. It feels like that. But a book I recommend is Future Shock by Alvin Tolfer. I'll put it in the description. But Future Shock by Alvin Tolfer is a book it was written in the 60s or 70s. Alvin was a futurist, meaning that he was able to do an analysis on past trends and get pretty close on predicting future trends. So one of the things that, like, what's happening is, and he talks about it, is this wrestling between the old world and the new world. And that's what we're experiencing now, like this transition into the fourth industrial revolution. I'm not going to get too deep on this. I'm going to keep it really high level. But that's why everything feels like it's shaken up and down. Like we're actually going into a really booming time, but it's gonna be rough. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. But that's why we're experiencing it. And Future Shock outlines in pretty close detail of what we're experiencing in different areas of life, whether it be business, whether it be family. And it's one of the books that I read maybe once a year. And then he has a series of other books that I'm reminding myself I need to go back and revisit. Um, then there's a series of other books that he's done too about like the future of, and he wrote these in the 60s and 70s. He passed away maybe about 3 years ago. I think he was 80 or 81, 82. Passed away. But yeah. So anyway, this is what we're facing, and being able to be. I know I just said a lot in the last segment of the video, but one thing, the point that I want to make, I was just thinking about it right now, is you don't want to be the smartest person in the room. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room for the most part. And just to share, some vulnerability, it felt a little bit uncomfortable. And I've been in rooms, but I've been in rooms. Let's put it that way. But anyway, it's always refreshing to get back into those rooms where you just see like the learning curve, like you see like the gap in the knowledge that you have, or your network base, or the education or experience or skills. It's always good to get into those rooms, because the thing that can happen to you is growth. That means it's a trajectory of growth. That feeling of being uncomfortable, not knowing what to say, not knowing what question to ask at the right time. All those things, that's the most important piece of, what I was trying to get through is put yourself in rooms that you're not the smartest by a stretch. Because it's going to cause you to either have to sink or swim in those conversations, and so it's going to challenge you to grow. That's the main thing that I really got really got out of it, is I like that feeling. And when you don't feel that feeling, there's something wrong. I like that feeling, like, okay, okay. I see what needs to be done. It helps you get to the next level. These are some of the things that I see at the window. People trying, just like, look, fun thing. This is almost like a big TV screen. Like, I see some of the most interesting things right here. This group right here is trying to apparently touch the top of the awning there. But these are the little things that oh, this guy's stretching. He's stretching. Oh, he's stretching his back. He's gonna attempt to do it. Okay, what does he got? Oh, doesn't look like he made it. These are some of the things that keep me, oh, another contestant. Oh, he has to pull his pants up. Oh, you want somebody to hold this? Okay, hold this for me. Oh, here we go. We got a crowd. Oh, he barely touched it. Okay, I think the big guy's gonna try it. Yeah, these are some of the things that kind of, Oh, here comes somebody else. No. All right, so it's time for a little bit of a lunch. So I just got some just straight tuna fish, so I'm about to make that right now. So I'm done with all my meetings for today, so I'm just wrapping up one project, taking a little break, and then going to the next project. But I'm getting a little hungry. I decided to just bring some tuna, because it's really good with protein. There's almost 32 grams of protein in this. So it's a nice little meal, keep me full until dinner time. Ooh, this looks pretty good. I'll see you next one. Whew. So, calling it a day. Really good day today. It was very productive, like I was saying before, just pushing through, wrapping my mind around the project. But other than that, it was a really productive day. Um, Once again, if there's any part of this video that resonated with you, please let me know in the comments. I've been really appreciating the comments and the feedback. They're trickling in. They're trickling in. I really appreciate the comments and the feedback. If you don't have time to give any comments, just hit the like button. Hit the like button. At least I know what the feedback is. If you don't like it, hit the down button. However you feel. But anyway, I'm out for the day. Peace.